Michael Jackson died on June 25, 2009. More than a decade later, his death is still surrounded by questions, speculation, and conspiracy theories. But before we ask what people believe happened, we have to start with what we actually know. On the afternoon of June 25th, Michael Jackson was at his rented home in Los Angeles while preparing for his highly anticipated This Is It concert series. Then something went terribly wrong. Jackson stopped breathing. Emergency responders were called, and he was transported to Ronald Reagan UCLA Medical Center. According to the Los Angeles Police Department, he was taken from his residence to the hospital at about 1 p.m. that day. He was pronounced dead shortly afterward. At first, the investigation was still developing. Police described the death as an investigation into an undetermined death while the coroner worked to establish the cause. And then the case began to focus on one person, Dr. Conrad Murray. Murray was Michael Jackson's personal physician and was with him when he collapsed. The investigation eventually centered on the powerful anesthetic propofol and the medical treatment Jackson had received. The Los Angeles County coroner classified Jackson's death as a homicide, with acute propofol intoxication identified as the cause. But here's where an important distinction matters. Homicide does not automatically mean that someone was convicted of intentionally murdering Michael Jackson. The criminal case against Conrad Murray was for involuntary manslaughter. Prosecutors argued that Murray's actions and medical decisions were responsible for Jackson's death. In 2011, a jury found Murray guilty of involuntary manslaughter. That verdict became the central legal conclusion surrounding Jackson's death. But if the legal case ended with a conviction, why do so many people still believe there is more to the story? That's where the theories begin. Over the years, different conspiracy theories have circulated among fans and online communities. Some have questioned whether Michael's enormous financial value created motives for other people. Others have questioned the circumstances surrounding the medications he received. Some theories go even further, suggesting that powerful individuals or organizations may have wanted Michael Jackson gone. But here's the problem. A theory is not the same thing as evidence. There has never been a court finding establishing that some secret organization ordered Michael Jackson's death. There has never been a proven case showing that someone secretly hired a killer to murder him. And we should be careful not to turn internet speculation into historical fact. At the same time, that doesn't mean people aren't allowed to question the circumstances. The reason this story continues to fascinate people is because Michael Jackson wasn't an ordinary celebrity. He was one of the most famous entertainers in history, preparing for one of the biggest comebacks of his career. Then suddenly he was gone. The official legal story points to medical negligence and Conrad Murray's conviction. But the questions surrounding Michael's final hours have continued to fuel speculation for years. So what should we believe? The strongest conclusion is the one supported by the evidence and the court record. Conrad Murray was convicted of involuntary manslaughter in connection with Michael Jackson's death. Everything beyond that needs to be treated as theory unless evidence proves otherwise. And perhaps that's why the mystery refuses to disappear. Because sometimes the biggest mysteries aren't the questions we can answer. They're the questions people continue asking long after the case has officially ended. So now we want to hear from you. After everything you've heard, do you believe the official explanation tells the whole story? Or do you think there are still unanswered questions surrounding Michael Jackson's death? Tell us what you think in the comments. And if you want more deep dives into the stories behind the legends, subscribe to Spotlight by Big J. Because Michael Jackson's story didn't end with the headlines. And this mystery is still being discussed today.